Yeah, what's going on, fellow degenerates? Howie Dewey here, back in New York City, coming at you live. I'm gonna hustle today. I'm gonna go, baby, because in about 3 hours, I think 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I gotta get to the Yankee Stadium, man. I gotta get to the Bronx. Yankees are playing tonight. First game against Cleveland, part of the four-game parlay tonight. By the time this thing records, hopefully the Mets, Yankees, Rangers, what's the other? Jets over in the Meadowlands, over in MetLife Stadium tonight playing. So that four-game New York parlay actually pays plus, I think, 950, almost 1,000. Hopefully tomorrow that'll hit. We'll be doing backflips. All right, let's get into it right now. College football, what a week. Oh, my God. Before we even start, hats off. Right now, let's give them props. Vanderbilt Commodores, they're for real. They are for real. They went into Kentucky. There was no letdown like I thought. Look, this kid, Diego Pavia, is one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in years. This kid's just versatile. He's quick. He can get out of the pocket. You can't catch him. He was a one-man wrecking crew against Kentucky. They won 20-13. I had Kentucky winning big. Done with. Gone. We still banked on Saturday. We still were up a unit after that, and then I just juiced Kentucky. But luckily we got some late night information. And we were all over Syracuse. That was a huge win. That got us above or past the finish line. I don't know. I'm just going here. I'm going hard in the paint. Look, we got 11 games this week. 11 games this week. We got Sun Belt, ACC, Big 10, Big 12. Before we even hit the weekend, this is what we're looking at. Let's talk about last week quickly. We started off Friday night nice. We had we had Arizona State and UNLV in a nice tease. Bang, smack that. Arizona came out, beat Utah. That quarterback, Cam Rising, is falling. He's hurt. He probably won't play the rest of the year. And we said that before the game. That's why we liked Arizona State, because we just didn't have enough information on that kid. And he's injured. I say kid. He's like 50. He's probably the oldest quarterback in the history of college football. It looks like that guy just got done driving 15 years for the Teamsters, and now he's playing college football. I don't know. The guy's old. Look, we got into Saturday right off the bat. Who'd we bet? You know who we bet. We bet Army, because what do we do here? The Degenerate Gamblers, we bet the Armed Forces. Navy had the week off. We took Army. That game was over before it started. They just put up points. They played D, and they covered easily. Couple of games we had teased. We had Georgia Tech. We had Notre Dame. We had a beautiful tease with Georgia State, Georgia Southern, one of my favorites. I'll have them again this weekend. And we had the under in the Vanderbilt Kentucky game. So that was a beautiful tease. We drilled California. They covered by half point. BYU, our favorite here. We've bet them every weekend. I think they're 5-0, 6-0 against the spread right now. Had BYU. Finished up with Syracuse. Rutgers, we had them. They got spanked. I don't know how I can bet Rutgers at Rutgers anymore. Their offense is just horrible. Can't get first downs. And they got a big win this weekend, I think, against Washington. We'll talk about that. Look, if you like what you hear right now, hit the link in the bio. Hit it. Go to Whop.com. Join the Degenerate Gamblers. $24.99 a month. You can't beat that. We have a great group of guys on the Discord from all over the country. Guys getting different info. Had huge info Saturday night on that Syracuse game, come in late, and we all banged it, and that wasn't even close. They just came out playing. But look, join. Hit the link on the Discord. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. Let's go. Let's do this. We got into it later on. Great game with Oregon. I actually thought they owned Ohio State. You look at that Big Ten right now. I don't like that Big Ten. I mean, Oregon. The rest of those guys, Michigan, oh, my God. Some of those teams in the Big Ten, how's Penn State 3 in the country? USC gave them the game. Couldn't hit a, 25-year-old field goal in overtime? That was just disgraceful. So we had some real good games late, too. LSU putting the beat down on Mississippi. Mississippi, bye-bye, you're out. You have no chance of hitting the playoffs this year. The SEC is in disarray. It is. Absolute disarray. You have the teams that have dominated the past decade. Alabama had a very tough time against South Carolina. And of course, Georgia. Georgia did not look good against Mississippi State. Just gave up yards. That quarterback looked great against Georgia. I don't think these teams this year, I think one of those two teams, Georgia or Bama, is not going to get in. One of them doesn't get in the playoffs. Bama's got to run the table. Georgia has a very tough schedule remaining. Mississippi, you're done. Who would think at this time in the year, if you look at the SEC, Texas is the only undefeated team in the SEC right now. It's just Texas. Texas A&M, 14 in the country, they got a shot at the playoffs now. They looked terrible the first 2 weeks. 5-1. Texas is undefeated. You got LSU back at it. They have a chance. I'm right in the country. You got Georgia 5-1. And then you got Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri. Ole Miss, you're out. You're done. And the rest of those, forget it. But the SEC is not what we are used to the last 10, 15, 20 years, in college football, minus Florida. I don't know. Actually, Florida's been playing better. They really have. Maybe Billy Gillespie will hold on to his job. I watched that Penn State USC game, and Penn State gets all kinds of publicity from everyone. I don't like them. They should have lost. I mean, offense, they're average. Defense, I don't know. I think they're kind of below average, but we will see. We will see who gets in. Boise State keeps winning. Only loss of the year. Would they lose by 3 to Oregon? I love Boise, and that's making up for a nice showdown in the Mountain West against UNLV, who looked solid. I mean, they lost one game to Syracuse, but they bounced back, pounded Utah State. We'll talk about them coming up. Look, we got a big weekend coming up. Huge weekend coming up. I'll be right off the bat. East Carolina plus 17 at Army. What do you think I'm betting? I'll be at that game. I'm actually going to the game Saturday. I'll be at Mikey Stadium. Watching Army, hopefully put the beat down. I think Army probably wins that game by 25 or 30. They've been getting up early on these teams and pounding them. Navy also back in action, minus 17 at Charlotte. How can you bet against Navy? How can you bet against these armed four? Are they 10-1 against the spread? Navy just didn't cover 1 week. Army's covered every week. It's like BYU. Same thing. They cover every single weekend. But we have a big slate this weekend. A couple big games. Miami going to Louisville, minus 3.5. Louisville came back strong on Saturday. You got Miami going in right now, coming off that squeaky game where they're still undefeated, but they should have lost to California. Yeah, that's the game where I went to bed and they were down 28, I think, with about quarter and a half left. Came back and won. We got UCLA plus 6. Go to Rutgers. Maybe Rutgers wins one here. I don't know. I don't know why I said Washington early. They play UCLA. South Carolina goes to Oklahoma. 2.5. A lot of close spreads this week. Though here's the game I'm gonna love. Here's the game I love. Notre Dame minus 8.5. Going to Georgia Tech. Yeah, going down south. Going to Atlanta. Notre Dame. You're primed to get beat here, baby. Plus, you got to play Army and Navy coming up. I'm not a Notre Dame hater. I like Notre Dame when they're plus 5 or 6 points, preferably at home. NC State playing Cal. We got Bama going to Tennessee. This could be a great game. It's always a great game at Tennessee. Bama's minus 2.5. Don't be surprised if Tennessee wins that game. USC minus 7.5 at Maryland. Maryland looks terrible. Absolutely horrible. Oh, my God. I mean, this weekend, Northwestern going there and just thrashing them like that. USC coming off a loss. I think they will probably open up that can of whoop ass. That's right. Colorado plus 4 in Arizona. Look, how do you bet against these guys? I mean, Deion's got them playing. Deion's got them primetime right now. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if we get more information. Game I love. And I'm going to tell you, you got to sign up. Hit the link below. Hit the link in the bio. Go to Whop.com. Join the Degenerate Gamblers. I'll be on there. You can ask me any question. Like I said, we got a great crew out. We got a great crew on there. But James Madison goes to Statesboro this weekend to play Georgia Southern. Minus 10? Minus 10? Georgia Southern probably win that game. Yeah, you saw what they did this weekend. Marshall came in favorite, then that line changed, and Georgia Southern won. You got LSU playing at Arkansas -3. Kentucky goes to Florida. Of course, the big game. Um, University of Georgia has to go to Texas. They're only +3.5. Got to be honest with you. I followed Georgia very closely the last couple decades. They're overrated this year. They are. They got problems on offense. They don't move the ball. This quarterback, I think, is way overrated, Carson Beck. I don't love him. I like some of these guys they've had in the past. He's no Stetson Bennett. They go to Texas. Texas is just firing on all cylinders. You saw what they did to Oklahoma in a big rivalry game. They're going to be up for this one, too. You might see Georgia get a thrashing. That's a possibility. And then you got UNLV going to Oregon State. Oregon State, very respectable team. UNLV, favored by -5.5 points. I don't know. You got to join, man. Hit the link in the bio below. Join. Talk to me. Let's figure out these games. Because, my God, we smashed it on Sunday. NFL. Ooh, did we? Brought in Kevin Goatee, new NFL handicapper on the show. He's on the Discord. That's why you need to join. Because we did crush it this weekend, especially with props. How about King Henry? Derrick Henry. He's getting TDs in every single game. But we had a bunch of amazing props. Great calls on some games. This is the best NFL weekend we've had so far. Look, we're going to bank this weekend. I got to fly. This is a 20-year-old shirt. Yankees tonight. By the time you get this, hopefully you're up 1-0 against Cleveland. We got the NBA starting, next week? NBA starting, college basketball starting with the tournament. It's going to be mayhem. It's going to be absolute insanity. You got to join. Hit the link in the bio. Go to Howie Dewey on YouTube. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Love you. Peace. Let's crush this weekend.